A year ago, I spotlighted Shock Treatment on the show, so I feel this time I should also spotlight something Rocky Horror related. I could just watch Rocky Horror itself, but talking during that movie is just plain rude, which is why there's absolutely no footage anywhere of people riffing or being disruptive during a viewing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. So instead, we're traveling all the way to Egypt to take a look at the Egyptian version of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, titled Fangs, or Anyab, which is clearly Egyptian for Egyptian Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is going to be Egypt's most notable contribution to music since the Bangles Walk Like an Egyptian. I feel safe talking about this movie. Surely there's no footage anywhere else of someone spotlighting this. Oh, god damn it! I'm supposed to be the only one who talks about these movies. On the other hand, I guess I'll always have little Rita. Oh, double god damn it! It's almost like other people have seen these movies besides me. The opening of the movie isn't in English, so obviously it's nothing like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I think McDonald's Golden Arches have seen better days. Just like in the Italian Stallion Horror Picture Show, they're playing Ring Around the Rosie. It's just a step to the right, and then another step to the right, and then change your partner do-si-do. Looks like someone released bees onto the dance floor. Everyone's going nuts. And if you want to do your own Rocky Horror movie, but can't get the floating lips effect right, there's always blackface. Now the real question is, do I show the inserts of someone cutting the head off of a chicken? No, I'm not going to show someone cutting the head off of a chicken. What is this, Egyptian Willy Wonka? Let's get a little taste of this music. That's a very 90s reference for a movie made in 1981. I'm glad the still shot stays on long enough for the fangs to put us in a mood for some Tic Tacs. As for this, I don't know if these two situations have anything to do with one another. It just looks like the Egyptian version of Love is a Battlefield is going on the same street. And that logo is gonna stay on the screen the whole movie, isn't it? It looks like Dolomite's fist is gonna punch through the screen at any time. Here we have the movie's equivalent of Brad and Janet, and this must be the sing-along version. I don't know the lyrics, but at least we got animation to go along with these beats. Okay, how romantic. I'm not sure if they're getting engaged or if they're just carpooling to work. Ugh, I hate happy Monday people. Bye. Good, we got a criminologist to fill us in on how this is exactly like another movie.
شباب الأيام دي فاكر إن الحياة فعلا لونها بامبي.
How very honest of you. He also shows us pictures of our leads. Comedian Freddie Prinze and Loretta Swit. This guy seems more like the burnt-out accountant of the criminologist. He's very tired and stressed out over dealing with Charles Gray's back taxes. Brad and Janet are caught in a storm, and imagine how dangerous it's gonna be when they actually start driving. And then the best song in the movie plays. Hell, if this is Egyptian Sgt. Pepper, shouldn't it be Aerosmith singing? This is where he confesses to her that he's not actually Egyptian Barry Bostwick. He's Egyptian Cliff DeYoung. They get a flat tire, and if they just stand over to the right where there's no rain, they should be fine. See, now you're standing right in the middle of the rain. You're doing a terrible job of staying dry. I wonder if they'll find a house of some sort. Hey, Hey, they're on Paperboy's route. Watch out for that bastard skateboarder. The place where Richard O'Brien can be perfectly interchangeable with Kevin Pollak. Amazing how through this whole storm, only one spot on the wall got wet. Right now they're thanking God that they're in a Rocky Horror ripoff and not a Terror at Orgy Castle ripoff. That video would be taken down immediately. The steam indicates that the boiled potatoes are just about ready. This is probably a stupid question, but do you have any dry ice? What the fuck? Now I know whatever happened to Fay Wray. The damn monkey in the house got her. Ladies and gentlemen, due to a sudden illness, the role of Magenta will now be played by Billy D. Williams. I can't argue with this casting. He is a man so classy that he made Colt 45 seem sophisticated. And the best part is, I can now understand the dialogue.
أرحب بكم في قصر الكونت.
كنت.
Look, we all just met. It's a little too soon to be calling each other cunts. We're now told that the house is not owned by Dr. Frankenfurter, but by Dracula Furter.
Dracula. Eh? Dracula?
Yes, thank you. And if you don't know who Dracula is, they'll show you this picture of Christopher Lee so that you won't be confused. But that could mean that Dracula also moonlights as Fu Manchu. So the criminologist shows up to also tell us about Dracula.
Bram Stoker.
Bram Stoker? What? No love for the true author of Dracula, Patrick Lussier? But I am in agreement that every shot needs something pointed down at his huge dick. I can tell what she's thinking. She's thinking, why does the audience keep shouting asshole and slut at them? He's trying to get Barry Bostwick on the line stat. Nothing to do with Rocky Horror, but because Barry is in charge of the Megaforce. Not sure what's going on in this room, but it doesn't look very Christian. Egyptian Satan's Alley is far less impressive. Where's the Catwomen suits and the Larry Fine wigs? This is one monster mash that just feels like a graveyard rehash. I've caught them in their jellicle dance for jellicle vampires. Or this is turning into the last act of Last House on Dead End Street. Look, honey, as long as we don't make eye contact, we probably won't have to join this porno. And that doesn't mean look directly at the camera. Suspension of disbelief ruined. What's this long sequence of people taking off their masks? It's like watching a mystery where you have no idea who the person is who's supposed to be the killer. Oh no, it was a random vampire from the Omega Man this entire time. I think their batteries are low. They're trying to do the robot, but they're just running on fumes. They're doing the let's not do the time warp and say we did. But soon enough, we meet the house's master, Dracula. Look on the plus side. If this were the Bollywood version, it'd be 3 hours long, and the first 90 minutes would be the origin of Brad and Janet's love story. Now I know what being a fly on the wall during production was like. And no matter what dance floor you're on, Fred Williamson will always be there to judge your funk. Also, I'm pretty sure that your basement is on fire. Once the floor is done farting, we can move on to the next song. Well, it's about time they graduated. They're only 40 years old. Pomp and circumstance also suggests they could be possible candidates for the Ludovico treatment. Dracula disappears only to then reappear upstairs and come back downstairs. Dracula has powers, he's just really show-offy about it. Now time for the dinner scene. If you look under the table, you'll see that they're serving meatloaf. Yes, I'm looking at the camera again. Mom, Dad, if you're watching this, I don't want to be in the movies. They threw all of this for Rocky's birthday, and he didn't even show up. I'm not really feeling all that confused, but I guess the criminologist could show up again.
فاكرين ان هم لقوا حل لمشكلتهم. مأوى من المطر. حفلة تنكرية. موسيقى.
I didn't need to know that. And this movie feels long enough already without Dracula randomly hitting the pause button. Whoa, whoa, I said the movie feels a little long. No need to drain your wrists. The movie will eventually be over. From the looks of it, they'd rather sit there in complete silence than sing their own version of Eddie. They're very apathetic about Eddie's existence. And what are you doing back so soon?
علي بيكتشف حاجة جديدة تؤكد له إنهم وقعوا في كمين رهيب.
No Dragon Art Theater. Whenever that gets mentioned, I get scared that Bat Pussy is gonna start playing. If Dracula's nose becomes a dick, then I'll know they wandered into Egyptian nothing but trouble. And I think we'd know exactly what they'd be serving if this were Egyptian Sallow. They'd be serving art. According to court documents, this is exactly what went on at the Neverland Ranch.
ثم ايه حكايه مصاصين دماء دي؟ يا راجل اقعد. مفيش حاجه اسمها مصاصين دماء.
Okay, fine. What's your version of Eddie? Funny. That sounds an awful lot like the chicken burrito scene from Battleship. Perhaps their version of Hot Patootie will make more sense. It's a jukebox musical made by people who didn't pay for the jukebox. Oh wait, I know this James Bond movie. It's Octofisty. I don't know what the deal is here. Your guess is as good as mine, folks. Great. It's the first time one of these movies has laughed at me for watching it. But clearly the vampires in the movie represent corrupt people in our society who take advantage of poor, unfortunate people who hand over their money to greedy bloodsuckers who only do an average job. Actually, I do think that's what it's supposed to represent. Unfortunately, I can totally see the cameraman.
وعلى كل حال النظريات العلمية الحديثة بتقول إن البروتينات اللي بيحتاجها الجسم البشري موجودة بكثرة في العدس وفي الفول.
Okay, while she's doing that, one thing does happen here that did not happen in Rocky Horror. Someone is actually fixing their car. Brad and Janet have something in common with each other. They love checking out the repairman's ass. Can we get some more James Bond in here? You're right. I am stupid for watching this instead of Man with the Golden Gun. They must be at the state fair now. He's about to order some deep-fried rice pudding. And now we're going from James Bond to Young Frankenstein. I as well am thinking about scenes from Young Frankenstein. It's a much funnier movie than this. What the hell's happening now? Are they trying to sell a child for gas? And when is the music coming back?
مستشفى المصريين لو سمحت. مستشفى المصريين لو سمحت.
Fantastic. It's the first musical I've seen where someone shuts the music off. Oh no, wait, it's back now. I'll catch that Dracula for you. The fangs, the cape, the whole damn coffin. Oh, thanks. I thought it was quite the funny joke, too. I miss the days when everyone's living room was one of those 3D paintings. If you cross your eyes, you can see the castle spaceship on the chair. I was wondering when Blofeld was going to show up in this Rocky Horror ripoff with James Bond music. Unfortunately, they're going to have to cut the superhero song out, not for time, but because they haven't finished building the castle. This is the perfect location for Turkish Egyptian Rocky Horror. If you're wondering what's happening, I have the perfect answer for you. Any other stock music you've got on file? You're too late, Ennio. The spaghetti western musical was last week. Whoa, time out. I think one of the actors just got sick.
خلاص مش قادرة تعبانة هموت النهاردة.
Thankfully, Dr. Cosmo McKinley is here to get the movie on track. cute. It's gonna take a lot more than a little black dress to fix this movie. Unfortunately, the movie's version of shock treatment is just putting someone in a bathtub and tossing a toaster in it. Where's my laugh for that joke?
ما حدش يقول إن مفيش مصاصين دماء.
Well, why are you yelling at me? It's your movie. Can we get back to being like Rocky Horror? Looks like I blew my load when referencing the Ludovico treatment earlier. Guess I can't make another Clockwork Orange reference. You've had a really rough middle act, movie. Why don't you take a load off and watch some TV? This is where they have to sit through 8 hours of Dracula's home movies. What in the fuck? What is with these exploitation movies randomly cutting to Hitler all the time? I guess a ton of Dracula's blood goes to pot. I'm not sure that this stock footage is from the 40s. After all, don't dream of being Nazi footage, be Nazi footage. By the way, dude, wrong fucking Rocky. That's what happens when you only understand one word in the title. More movies need to take time out and see what else is on TV. Maybe I'm no longer in the mood for Fangs. What the hell happened to Riff Raff, by the way? He was upstairs and accidentally walked in on Alex banging a couple of girls. Third time's a charm. Dracula is very old-fashioned, though. He's got a very strict two-bedroom policy. You know what else could use a good polishing? The fucking script. And who in the hell is this? For rights, they couldn't call her Poison Ivy, so instead she's named Corncockle. I think they've confused Tim Curry's character from Rocky Horror with his character from The Worst Witch. I can't wait for him to later turn into a clown and murder a kid in the sewer. This movie better wise up. I wonder if he's telling us our apple pie don't taste too nice. It was right for him to wash the blackface off from the opening scene, but this albino face is seriously offending me. I wonder if Silly Bull knows that he borrowed one of his skulls for the dresser. A thought just occurred to me. As long as you're a mouse, this entire house is a steam room. And speaking of bathhouses... The fuck is this now? I'm guessing this stands for Dentonvale. Well, at least they're back to singing their own songs. I'm sure there's a reason that Janet is looking more like Little Nell as this movie goes on, but I don't care. A nice product placement for Old Spice, by the way. Sellouts. Speaking of product placement, that shirt looks awfully familiar. That shirt reminds me. This movie is a little bit like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. There's something so pure about filming the rehearsal. Unchoreographed and unprofessional, but pure nonetheless. Everyone is turned up for this musical number. Dr. Scott, Janet, Brad, Rocky! Get ready for the biggest twist of all. He's been a vampire this whole time. Why is this shocking to you? Did you think this was a castle of posers? Rocky Horror always was missing an extra 12 inches of Blackula. And Dracula's a vampire too? Look at me, I'm climbing this wall. I'm totally climbing this wall. I'm climbing this wall, you guys. This movie has more fog than that scene in Pod People that had more fog than the movie The Fog. With all the bams and oofs and pows that are going on in this fight scene, you'd think they'd start playing the Batman theme, but I guess that's the one soundtrack they don't have. Oh wow. I think Riff Raff's got an idea. If he kills Dr. Dracula, that means the movie will soon be over and he can go back to living in Nosferatulvania. Here, Brad and Janet, escape. Go towards the scene's very obvious lighting. There, you could have gone out this door the entire time, idiots.
احنا لازم نرجع. فعلا ما نقدرش نسيبهم يرتاحوا في القصر. لازم نرجع ونقضي عليهم. لازم نرجع نساعد شلف.
Oh, now how the sunlight kills the vampires. It didn't affect him when he was climbing that wall. Oh wait, that was totally supposed to be nighttime. Bastards! Opening the curtains cost them extra on their makeup budget. Anything equivalent to the castle launching off in Rocky Horror? Great, you let off a couple of cherry bombs in an empty casket. That's exactly the same. Although I think the movie may have set a man on fire. This is a little worrying. And now Brad and Janet are free to starve and die of thirst in the desert. Unless they stop at the Pizza Hut right by the pyramids.
وهي حواديت لكن في النهاية طبعا الخير لازم ينتصر على الشر.
Don't be so hard on yourself. It makes total sense that the criminologist was Dracula this entire time. Damn it, and I had my money on him turning out to be Judge Oliver Wright. Thus ends this late-night single-feature shit show. And had a good time, too. I'm running out of Rocky Horror Picture Show jokes. I had to settle for 3 references to Clockwork Orange and 1 reference to Blackula. There's only so much I can do with this material. I feel okay talking about this movie because Egyptian Musical March in September is just reviewing the Jaws and James Bond series. You gotta love the fun of watching something without proper subtitles and then trying to figure out the plot along the way. I mean, seriously, what is going on here? This guy seems very angry about hosting a parade. Put someone else in charge. Well, we've got just 1 movie left in Musical March in September, and I guarantee you that unlike Little Rita and Fangs, it's probably a movie that you've seen. Oh, fuck, I forgot to shave!
Dracula! 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 Dracula!